Careful now. They will regret their interference. Let us put down this rabble. Come then, no mercy. Be on your guard. My sympathies. Excellent. I needed a warm-up. This fight will be your last. And stay down. We live to fight another day. I will not fall, not with my promise left unfulfilled. There is much I have yet to learn. I must become stronger. My training is far from complete. Only through adversity will I be made strong. I am brimming with strength. I shall always be in the service of Her Highness. I have you now. How's that? The day is ours. A pitiful performance. Your fate is sealed. Who's next? We're done here. Will they ever learn? Damnable fools. Their leader has fallen. Now put them to rout. Ha! Now! Perfect! Falling apart, are we? Do not let up. We've the upper hand now. All too easy. Crush them. We have the initiative. Fly! Cut them to ribbons. Try to run. My aim is true. Watch closely. Ah! How's this? Enough of you! Aegis of light, protect us. Leave them in ruin. Know of our might. Say your prayers like hairs in a springe. Flames! Burn! Frigid blight! Freeze! I stand ready. Fury unleashed. It's over. If I may but ease the pain, this should provide relief. We must rally our strength. Let us shift the odds. That is quite enough of you. I have you now. Have at you! Yeah! What are you doing? On your feet, you lazy oaf! Letty! You will pay dearly for what you have done! So this is how it ends. You must go on. Helena! How can this be? Maester Felgreed! Preposterous! Marielle! They have gone too far! Lady Malkia! You bastard! Theo! Pull yourself together! Nina! Underhanded cur! JJ! I will have your hide! Trust this to me. Follow my lead. Rest assured, I will see this done. I will show them the true meaning of valor. Let us bring an end to this. Duma! We fight as one! Let's make this quick. This bodes ill, but how? Curses! We have company. Enemies. Dead ahead. Right. I'm well aware. I am with you, Highness. Remain close, Highness. It seems we must fight. Ready at a moment's notice. Understood. I will be your shield, Maester. To arms. Keep a lookout for more. Feast your eyes upon this, Lady Malkia. Shall we begin the assault? What shall we do, Theo? Give them no quarter. We've nothing to fear. Stand back, Nina. Allow me. Shall we catch them unawares? Everyone, be on your guard. They didn't come alone. Return to whatever hole you crawled out of. Sending in the cavalry, are they? We've more pressing matters to attend to. We should be safe now. This won't stop me. Resorting to poison? Burn me, will you? Water! Somebody! What sorcery is this? What have you done to me? Defeat them by any means necessary. Target the same foe. To each their own. Very well. It shall be done. Understood. Here, good luck. Allow me. You had best thank me for this. I live to serve, Your Highness. I hope this helps. We're counting on you, Maester. We are here for you, Marielle. I have you covered. Now rend them asunder. Up and at 'em, as they say. Let's have you back in working order. Thank you. Much better. My thanks. It was not my intention. Thank you, Highness. You have my thanks. I am grateful. Most helpful. I shall repay you in kind. How unexpected. I am quite all right. Ever the staunch one. Not my finest moment. This fight is far from finished. They nearly had me. Need to rest. Catch your breath, Albaird. Not half bad. On your mettle today, Highness. Quick as greased lightning. Fleet-footed as ever, I see. That's how it's done. Nicely done. I expected nothing less. Impressive feat, Nina. Light on your feet, aren't you? No sense in leaving it behind. Not an altogether unpleasant find. Right then. This may yet come in handy. Oh, very nice indeed. Well, well. Much obliged. Pardon me. What do we have here? I shall see to this. Allow me. Good day. This will prove most useful. You are a spry thing, aren't you? I cannot stay mad at you. I do hope I'm doing this correctly. I shall try my hand at it. I shall acquit myself as well as I am able. Of course. Mix this with... Oh, perhaps not. Alchemy is a field with which I've a passing familiarity. A blank page can be a formidable foe. Yes, I do believe I have it now. I shall be at it, hammer and tongs. The devil is in the details. Perhaps a change in the quantity. This chemical response. Could it be? Creativity can be a mercurial mistress. Trust in the skills you have acquired. There is no work so paltry as a rushed one. Careful application will see this made. I need not reinvent the wheel here. What an intriguing science this is. 'Tis merely a matter of putting my thoughts to the page. 'Tis done. A most satisfactory creation. All is grist to the mill. There is no better teacher than experience. 'Tis a mastery long in the making. 'Twas our most sincere pleasure. We shall come again. I am am rested for the journey ahead. You have been most gracious. I thank you. I must say, you set a very fine table. Good grief. Our destination lies to the east. Let us make our move. Next, we make for lands west of here. We are called southward. We move north next. Must I point you in that direction? Come, we make for the northeastern side next. Yes? Follow the southeastern side, and we will come upon our destination. Let us make for the southwest. We must now make for the northwest. Come, we move eastward. We must make our way westward. Come, we must head southward. Let us press on to the northern side. We must hasten northeast. The southeast calls to us. Let us make haste. Follow me. We move southwestward. Match my pace. We make northwestward. Let us move eastward. Let us be off to the west. Next, we are to make our way southward. Best make our way to the north. We are now meant to make to the northeast. Our travels take us to the southeast next. Let us be off. If our preparations are in order, we had best make for the southwest. From here, we travel to the northwest. Let us move eastward. The west calls for us. We must press on to the southern side. Next, we are meant to press on northward. We must hasten northeastward. We should hurry to the southeast. We are meant to head for the southwest, yes? Let us depart. We move for the northwest. You should not approach unidentified objects. Let us hide. And then perhaps we should go around. The west side looks scalable, does it not? It holds dominion over this area. Rarely should it appear at all. The distance is too great for us to vault across. It seems we must find a detour around to enter the ruins proper. We are incapable of traversing such a chasm. Come, let us circumvent it by moving through the ruins proper. Where did that voice come from? Who goes there? Show yourself! Yes. Very well then. Long has it been since this place received visitors. Traversal here will undoubtedly be treacherous. Though we are familiar with the area, this is our first time actually being here. Tread carefully. There is no need for concern. This is the way, I assure you. Indeed, the interior may be complicated, so take care not to lose your way. The exit is on the southern side of the ruins. Stray from the path, and we will leave you behind. Let us return, then. We must pass southbound through this forest in order to reach Larset village, must we not? We must pass through the forest to reach Larset village. Time offers us no respite. Larset village is to the south. The forest is teeming with danger. Remain vigilant. If we continue on our southward course, we should depart the forest. Unfortunately not. It will take us some time to pass through the Larkus region. We are now entering the Larkus region. Come, let us continue to the south. Your Highness, the village of Larset lies to our west. I second the latter. Come, let us be about it. Your Highness, it seems we have ventured too far. Larset village is to the northwest. The inn should be the large building on the north side of the village. We have arrived. It is. The Delvier region ahead is vast. I would wager even a seasoned traveler would consider it quite a distance. Southbound from our current position, I believe. Very well, I shall tell you. Continue your current southern course. I merely read the look of confusion written upon your face. We should be on a southbound course for Delric. It seems we have finally crossed into Delvier territory. Delric village lies to the southwest. First, however, we must continue farther south. Your Highness, pray, mind your footing. It is because of your predisposition towards recklessness the moment I turn away. I must be vigilant. You would do well not to become a hindrance. I believe this path leads to the seaport. I do not believe this direction leads to our destination. This leads to the seaport of Rifle, not the village of Delric. It is located on the east side of the village. It looks as though the infirmary is located farther up on the hill. Let us make for the west side of the village. Do not let your zeal lead you to injury. Right. Mitigating damage to the village is paramount. This one is capable of wielding semiomancy. Drat! They are beyond our reach. Combat is not always the best strategy. Consider retreat as a viable option as well. Considering the number of enemies, the situation grows more dire by the minute. I sincerely hope the maester is unharmed. We are being overwhelmed. This does not bode well. Let us venture deeper. We must reach the abandoned mine post-haste before there are any more unnecessary victims. The infirmary should be located on the west side, if I recall correctly. Yes, ma'am. We will arrive in Rifle regardless of which we choose. However, the route adjacent to the ocean is shorter. With Maester Marcus waiting on us, we have not the time for sightseeing. Please, Your Highness, there is no need to apologize. It was my decision not to tell you, and furthermore, what you are is a heedless dimwit. Is something the matter, Nina? You look somewhat dispirited. To reach the village of Ada, we must traverse the Larkus Weald, so our first step is to travel towards the Larkus region. Your Highness, I beg your pardon. We have yet to pass through the Larkus Weald and the Adali region proper. Are we not in need of respite at Larset village? Nay, I am quite all right. Should I require a brief rest, I shall suggest we do so. Nay, I am afraid this is merely the beginning. We must conserve our strength, as the terrain shall only become more arduous. Continuing north from here shall see us arriving in the Adali region. Indeed, I believe the village of Ada lies to the east. Is there truly nothing that can be done for Elena's injuries? Some manner of first aid, at the very least. Very well, then. For now, let us focus on reaching the Larkus Weald. From here, the closest village to the south is Larset. Let us begin our investigation there. Delric and Rifle are still rather far from here. Why not see what the people of Larset village have to say first? Of course. Let us hope Maester Marcus is in. I believe he was overjoyed to see you as well, was he not? Your Highness, our next destination, the seaport of Rifle, lies to the northeast. It seems what we were told before is true. The town certainly has an air of tension to it now. Shall we first make for Dr. Vanel's? The hospital is on the other side of the plaza. I have heard the ideal location to gather intelligence is at a tavern. It seems there is one to the town's northeast. Shall we? Let us question those individuals there. A significant journey indeed. We should make certain we are properly prepared. Yes, for the moment. My apologies. I was too fixated on trying to apprehend him. Indeed, he did. Galka's shrine is located to the north. That he did. That confirms the rumors we heard in town. According to the time, I should think it to be completed by now. Continuing this way shall see us to the Medum ruins. We should be going north. Galka's shrine lies at the end of the path stretching to the northeast. It is a bustling seaport. With the myriad of people that come to and fro, you may very well be able to glean information on the one for whom you search. Which means Rifle is just around the corner. Well, we can always stop at a village along the way if we need anything. We can never be too prepared. The vegetation here makes for poor visibility. Tread carefully. Is there a path here that leads to the hallowed mount? Now that we have come this far, Kado should be close. Let us continue to the southeast. Indeed, it has grown into a lively town with a port for the Royal Navy. Let us continue towards Kado to the southeast. Now is not the time for us to explore at our leisure. We have more pressing matters at hand. Come, let us have words with Theo. Shall we go hear what Theo has to say now? That was not my intention, I assure you. I have merely lost my way. Let us correct our course towards Mount Codorinth. The enemy may appear at any time. We should exercise caution. All the more reason to remain vigilant. That is not a blunder that we can afford to make. Please proceed behind me from now on. Please proceed carefully, Your Highness. Everyone, be on your guard. To return to the royal capital, we must traverse the Osirian High Road to the northeast. The capital lies to the northeast. To reach the royal capital, take the Osirian High Road. From there, continue straight until you arrive. The one and only. At last, we have come so far. This is where you shall find the Semiomancy Consortium. However, that could wait till later. Right, Nina? Nay, there seems to be even more foot traffic than usual. Your Highness, perhaps we should leave errands for later and hurry to the palace. Should you lose your way, you need only turn your sights towards the palace to orientate yourself. Now then, if we are prepared, we should make haste. Indeed, They lead up to the second floor. It appears His Royal Majesty is away at the moment. I believe we have an obligation to speak with Lord Neon before all else, however. My apologies. Let us leave. Indeed. It is located on the border between nations, after all. I am inclined to agree. Let us make for the Basilica. Your Highness, we must make for the capital. At this rate, we will be unable to protect His Majesty or the kingdom. We must keep moving north. Do not look back. Bertrand Corps, protect His Majesty with your lives! We should avoid unnecessary departures for the time being. We must make for the palace at once. Agreed. We should report to the council chamber on the second floor for briefing. He is in good hands, Your Highness. We must proceed to the council chamber. Theo is nothing if not a man of his word. Hopefully, we can begin researching a cure before long. Very well. Perhaps we can circle around to the north. Your Highness, thank you very much. Lady Malkia also said she would assist with the replacement of my osseous core when the time comes. I shall endeavor to be a knight worthy of such favor. Now, more than ever, I am concerned for His Majesty's well-being. Let us proceed to the ship, post-haste. Please, remain calm, Your Highness. First, we must proceed to the Cotterinth region via the western exit. We are nearly to the royal capital, Your Highness. All will be well soon enough. Let us hurry. Your Highness, this way to the palace. Where could Elena and Chloe be? We must locate Elena and Chloe. We should search the second floor next. The throne room. Another dead end? Curse it all. She is to be married in but a mere 7 days' time? I need not be reminded. We have nary a moment to waste. Yes, through the southern gate and across the Osirius Plains. I have not been back since the day we were forced to retreat. Without question, we may not be fighting our way inside, but there is no telling what trouble we might encounter nonetheless. Curse it all! Doing battle here does not but remind me of the day we fled. Of course. We must do all that we can whilst Her Highness fights her own battle abroad. We might try heading a bit further northeast. There is indeed. Come, it is further ahead. This point offers vantage over all of Baldar. We had best draw no closer than absolutely necessary. We have not the time for further excursions. We must return with news of Baldar, post-haste. Indeed. Now let us make our way back to Captain Bertrand. We should focus on matters we might yet influence. Let us return to the royal capital. That we cannot be certain of until we have made our return. We had best hurry for the royal palace. Captain Bertrand awaits. The captain is likely waiting in the council chamber on the second floor of the palace. We will have no other support in our infiltration of Baldar. Might I assume we are all quite ready? This gate will not set us off towards Baldar. Let us wait no longer. I trust you remember the location of that knoll? Indeed. And we should hurry. Dawn approaches. Any closer puts us at far too great a risk. We need to make our way around the northeastern hill. Quite true. Let us make our way atop it. I would ask you to share what you have said here with Letty herself. Let us make for Baldar. We should be able to make our way into Baldar down through here. Here we are. If you wish to go back, I suggest you do so with haste. Time is not on our side. We should look for other means to make our way inside. Any actions which would make us stand out risk exposing us. We would do better to act as if we belong here. We, too, shall continue our search for somewhere we might enter. And you are certain about this. Despite the time we spent here as children, it was not until Theo made mention of it that its use became apparent to me. Let us make our way to the council chamber. Let us proceed to His Majesty's quarters. We no longer have need to enter the knoll of which we once made use. The real battle begins once we have made our way to the imperial capital, Theo. See to it you are not exhausted before we arrive. It is. The Fulga battalion has begun its assault. Expect the imperial forces to work fiercely to stop us. We must stay alert and remain guarded. Our mission now is to bring as swift an end to this conflict as might be possible. We must not allow ourselves to grow distracted. The very same. We should come upon it heading west from here. Let us go. There is much we must inquire of her. Come, let us make our way to the dungeon. Where is this bridge, and to what does it connect? Your Highness, this vessel is marked with holes. Surely one might lead us to the levels above. We should come upon the royal capital soon if we hold course northward. It feels strangely different to set eyes upon it now than when I last set off from it. There is no telling when or if we might return. I find it hard to even know how to ready myself. Let us make our return to the Aldous. The chamber of transfer should be just ahead. Is everyone quite all right? There would appear to be nothing else ahead. I suggest we try another path. Your Highness, please. Such a suggestion is unbecoming of you. The public seems largely unperturbed. Let us push on southward. We had best make way north and then head towards the settlement. We are left no choice but to press ever onward and upward. So be it. Let us return whence we came. Raymond, would you mind telling me where it was you have been? Your Highness, are you unharmed? Forgive me for this failure. I will never again leave your side. Which of these paths will take us where we need be? I am simply thinking. Do not try to curry favor with me. Silence your tongue! Her Highness attracts much attention, including those of your ilk. Outwards, it may be best for royalty to be cordial with commoners, but such friendliness makes her vulnerable. The issue lies in the fact that no one other than me cares to remonstrate her. Her Highness said she could not sleep, so she went walking. I must be prepared to aid her should anything unfortunate happen. It is my sworn duty as a king's guard. Now go sleep instead of loitering about like some laggard. You bother me. Do not call me that! I'll never forgive Theo for saying such in front of someone like you. If such is your thought, then act as proper. Princess, this vagabond speaks nothing more than gibberish. You would be wise not to humor him. What? You wretch! You have not earned the right to call me such. Why would I do such? No. Hey, Ray, fine weather today. Is it not, Ray? What is the matter? You need to reply to me with something more than that, Ray. Enough. There is no merit to this. These, from the store, are so delicious. I was not partaking in anything. How dare you startle me so? Certainly not. I was not eating, not at all. I already told you that I was not eating. Now then, if you will excuse me, because I would find it embarrassing to be seen doing so. It's because it does not suit my refined air. No, that is not what I meant. What? That brute eats sweets too? You! How much of that did you hear? So, you like sweets as well, do you? I see. Raymond, do you have a moment to spare? On our journeys, you have been a great help on countless occasions. Truthfully, I do not know what would have become of us had we not met back in the Larkus Weald. For this reason, I personally would like to show my appreciation. You said you liked sweets. Yes? Splendid. For there is a confectionery here that serves my most favored sweet. I shall take you there, as thanks. Come, let us be off. You noticed. Their goods are a notch above the rest because the methods they use are quite unique. I suppose I have no choice. As thanks, I have a favorite in the royal capital, Sendros. I shall take you there on our next visit. Qualms with my choice? It does not concern you. I wonder. You seem to be knowledgeable. Incredible logic. Weapons are not chosen for such reasons. What is wrong with you? Such thought processes. You are wrong. You may believe whatever you wish to believe. I have no need to discuss weaponry with you any further. Insistent vandal. Then never sleep. Stop. Do not bother Her Highness with such tripe. When it comes to strange weaponry, surely there are users of much more unusual armaments than I. Right. Nothing of importance. Peculiar, no? It is good you understand. However, I too am ever so curious as to how she ended up with that. I will no longer suffer your insolence. Your manner of behavior with the princess is too familiar. You may need not act as a retainer, but might I remind you that you are addressing the princess of a kingdom, a status that befits a more appropriate demeanor. Pardon me? But how could I possibly? What am I to do? That certainly is a reasonable suggestion, but am I capable of doing such? Leticia, would you wanna get grubs? Smiling, as much as I can. Such as this? Well? What? What are you inferring by that? You bastard! Are you trying to make a jest of me? Girl, no! What? No, I did not intend to say that. I cannot besmirch myself with such folly. Enough! I regret ever coming to consult with you. There is one thing that has been on my mind. Do those who work in the galactic transportation industry ever go to fight on the battlefield? I see. However, curiously enough, you seem to be familiar in combat from the start, and I also sense a rather peculiar air of courage about you. Do tell. Fascinating. So those experiences were indeed useful. To think that the concept of military arts exists even beyond the stars. Ah, exquisite. Such a splendorous sight. Heavens, that glimmer. What is it? Ah, when did you... Is that so? I apologize. I did not realize. Yes, quite. Any previous matters are dwarfed by this reality. I had no idea that beyond the sky I gazed upon every night, there could be something like this. Yes, honestly, I am deeply moved. Quiet. I have no interest in quarreling with you in front of such a magnificent spectacle. Yes, my eyes shall drink their fill. JJ has shared many stories with me. His mental preparedness towards combat embodies one of my perfect ideals. When engaged in battle, his serenity does not lose its hold, and no movements are wasted. JJ is what I strive to be. The embodiment of an ideal knight. The absence of any conceit. That is also how I strive to be. Pray tell, what needs to be done to attain such an unwavering spirit? Continue to be... myself? Truly admirable. Forsooth, the words of our precursors are mine guiding force. It is. Ascendros is the political, economic, cultural, and industrial heart of our land, and also the most populous city. It is said that the ancestors of the royal family laid the country's foundation here 1,000 years ago. Since then, it has continued to thrive as the royal capital. This year marks the 30th anniversary of His Majesty's reign, our current king. And so, the royal capital Ascendros will continue to grow and flourish. Hey, is that it? I have been extolling about our great royal capital, yet your responses remain muted. Do you mean to say that seeing this grand city does not give you pause for its splendor? Huh? Yes, I see. Should I have a spare moment and feel so inclined, perhaps I shall show you some sights. What are you doing? Compose yourself. Follow me. I have found the exit. This is our place. Within this pandemonium of shared knowledge coursing among the Scorpium network, this place appears to be stable enough for you and I to exist. I do not think to know how you feel, but I myself... I shall say this only once. Here in Ada, this is where my trust in you was placed. With all sincerity. Do you recall what I said to you when Maester Midas inquired about my arm? I said, you must never tell the princess. I do. Thinking back upon it now, I know not my feelings at the time. However, I know my trust in you was given without hesitancy, and that you would abide my word and keep my truth a secret. What? I am revealing to you my gratitude in all sincerity for all that you have done. I shall not endure mockery by you for mine candid act. You need not put every sentiment into words. Yet that understanding changes not what we must do. Indeed, do not fall behind. I may not come to your aid next time. Not at all. Now be gone. Have you ever wished you could reach maturity in a quicker manner? Do not feign ignorance. Tell me, have you? I see. I share a similar experience. I oft think that if I were more adult in turn, I could support the princess better. It is constant. No, I am still lacking. I must grow and become stronger for the sake of the princess. Meaning, I say, you may have a point. You surprise me with such unexpected wisdom. I see. What does that mean? Well, then, how do you grow up? You do not know? I do not quite understand it myself, but I know now that rushing the process is futile. I was mistaken in asking you such a question, wastrel. Now be gone! Merely a post-operative examination. All is in order. Yes, I have no complaints, for I will be able to return to Her Highness's side as Kingsguard. I comprehend well, Lady Malkia. I shall temper myself so as to avoid burdening your hand any longer. Wait, you misunderstand. That was not my intention. From where the core came from is inconsequential to me, for my arm has been granted new life. Nay, you misunderstand. I did not even comprehend of the contraption's use until just now. I know not the inner workings of this ship, and I wish not to be a bother through careless handling. Hence, I was eyeing the machine from a distance. But then Sir Antonio came by. He has been teaching me a very great deal. I think it beneficial for you to learn from Sir Antonio's attentiveness. You claim that Sir Antonio was a mischief maker? Good grief. Are these? I beg your pardon. I did not intend for my comment to lead to a brotherly quarrel. My sincerest apologies to both of you. So, mayhap make peace with each other? Pray forgive me. Your reactions are just so alike. You two are undoubtedly siblings. It is easy to see. Highness, whatever are you doing here at this hour? I know you shall not do as I say, but please, ensure you get your rest. That is for a separate conversation. Highness, I will no longer oppose that the moon calf travel in our company. I must insist that you keep our priorities in order. Yes, Your Highness. I shall remain awake until you sleep. It is my duty as your attendant. Highness, have you aught that I can assist with? Is that so? Well, should the need arise, please tell me right away. Highness, your command. I do not believe there is anything specific. Well, if I may be so bold, I would like to make one request. Could you please try to act a whit less recklessly and behave more rationally, Letty? This is my only humble wish. Thank you graciously. Yes, and I do not intend to fall short of you. I accept. A fine challenge. Your Highness, I ask for your fair judgment. Thank you, Your Highness. I shall continue in my efforts. So you do not see me as having surpassed him. I find this regrettable. Theo, I beseech you. We must duel when we next have the time. I am not satisfied as is. A bout between Theo and I was the topic in question. Cease, Theo! Highness, please be careful with your assertions. Theo will take you in earnest. It feels as if we have been away from the capital for quite some time. It is comforting to be back on her streets again. This is true. Very well then, Your Highness. I shall bid you farewell. I have pressing business to attend to. My shop? What do you mean? Your Highness, you knew? Heavens, I cannot believe you knew all this. I see. But of course, I am certain you will enjoy it as much as I, Your Highness. Yes, Your Highness. Heavens, this is quite the sudden inquiry. Please, Your Highness, I am but your attendant. Wherefore I shall abide by your decision, no matter whom you should decide to wed. Highness? Yes, by all means. Highness? Oh, certainly. Exquisite. Such a splendorous sight. Heavens, that glimmer. What is it? Oh, Highness, please forgive me. I failed to notice your presence. Engrossed? Why, I beg your pardon. Oh, goodness. It is as you say. I had no idea that beyond the sky I gazed upon every night, there could be something glorious as this. Oh, thank you. Please excuse me. I have been ruminating on the matter of this arm of mine. I received a portion of Lady Malkia's body, which granted my arm the gift of remaining intact. As such, I find myself unsure of how to regard the act of integration with the Scorpium. Indeed. Hence, I cannot decide whether I should reject integration or affirm it. I am left quite conflicted. Alas, if anything, my heart may be on the side of affirmation. You do? Do you refer to what I already possess, Your Highness? I agree, which means I have always known deep inside how I will wield this strength, all for you, Your Highness, as it is, as it has been, and as it henceforth shall be. The fleet warfare among the stars was of such immense scale. I felt that I may have lost some confidence. Their weaponry is too great in scale compared to what we hold in our feeble hands. Highness, I apologize. It seems I momentarily lost my faith. To receive such praise from you encourages me more than anything. No matter how vast the universe may be, never shall I leave your side. Your Highness, I cannot believe the day has come when I now stroll through the grounds of the Vale Empire. Speaking truthfully, never did I think that I would set foot here, at least not without one of the nations falling. Indeed, I follow your will. I shall do everything to ensure your wish of seeing both nations prosper comes true. Your Highness, are you unharmed? Thank heavens I made it in time. Please follow my lead. I have located a calm place where we may be safe. Are you able to move? There were various other locations, but within this pandemonium of shared knowledge coursing through the network, the capital appears to be the most stable location to support our existence. I know not the details, but I assume so, yes. Why, indeed. More importantly, we must seek the next stable foothold somehow, lest the others leave us behind. What? Oh, yes! This is the self-same spot where I first spoke my knightly vows. A locale so commonplace, so humble. What age were we? In truth, I did not even remember the significance of this place until you spoke of it. Such precious memory. Mayhap. Though now I do recall, that was the first time that you, Your Highness, Letty, you put your trust in me. You did not go to Cousin Theo. Instead, you came and requested me to leave the palace with you to go play. Though it was but a trivial gesture, it filled me with such joy. Yes, whilst we were children. I have always been prepared to spend my entire life protecting you, whenever, wherever. Yet, I wish a slight more sympathy to your knight's woes. Yes, I have steeled myself as such. Indeed, Letty. Let us away. What shall I do? No, wait, I cannot let such an opportunity pass. The torment. To buy or not to buy. Your Highness! No particular reason. None whatsoever. My bow. They seem to be a type of candy. The vendors here sell them. It seems that there are an extraordinary number of flavors, and among them there are a few that I find myself helplessly curious about. There are the sugar rusk, chocolate, and natto varieties. How did you? Correct you are. Then I shall make my purchase right away. I say, it was quite filling. Would you like to try one, Your Highness? As it were, I am quite satisfied with my purchase. Thank you for the encouragement. How did you? Correct you are. Then I shall make my purchase right away. It was slightly chewy and sophisticatedly sweet. To think that the chocolates that exist in the world of stars is this different from those back home. Would you like to try one, Your Highness? As it were, I am quite satisfied with my purchase. Thank you for the encouragement. I know not. Hence my curiosity. It sounds quite similar to nut. Mayhap that would make natto earthy and sweet. Correct you are. Then I shall make my purchase right away. What could this be? No. It tastes of salt or some sort of fish sauce with a hint of bean flavor and a tremendously distinct odor. I believe I do. But it is certainly unique. I suspect it to be something of an acquired taste. Would you care for one? That was quite the invaluable experience. I am rather satisfied with my purchase. Thank you for your encouragement. Yes, is that concerning? Oh, is that so? My apologies. I was not aware. Oh, such acts do not come to me naturally. What would one need to do? What? I know not of what you speak. I see. That certainly is a tempting idea. But no, I cannot. It would still be too difficult. Oh, I do. But it is perhaps embarrassing to be seen purchasing so many by myself. What? No, I cannot. Thank you, Your Highness. The thought has started to fill me with excitement. A long slumber, you say? That would indeed be the best way to rest both mind and body. I shall test this hypothesis. Very well. In order to get a quality night's sleep, I must carefully evaluate my bedding, clothing, and sleeping arrangements. I shall begin preparations and adjust my schedule immediately. Why? I wish to be excused from such activities. Precisely the problem. If I were to spend my free time with him and absorb his sordid manners, then I would surely become corrupted beyond reproach. Your Highness, I would like to ask your opinion. Thank you graciously. In truth, I have been unsure of which muscles on my body I ought to train. Precisely. Please decide which muscles I should prioritize to train, my upper body or my lower body. My time is limited. Since you are here beside me, do you see any muscles that you feel are lacking? I see. My upper body, you say? Very true. That is important. Now that my arm has been returned to working order, I shall commence my training today. I see. My lower body, you say? An excellent point. I knew your words of wisdom would be my savior. I shall commence my training starting today. What do you mean, Your Highness? Besides? But, Your Highness, I wish to become muscular. But is aught amiss? Brother and sister, for us to be seen as such would be a great discourtesy to you, Your Highness. Mayhap you are right. If that is how Your Highness would see it, that was not what I intended to infer. In reality, I am older than you. What? Oh, all right. Fair. Just a moment, Your Highness. That would mean I remain the younger brother? Would I now? Yes. Though you are not my sibling in truth, you are very well like a troublesome little sister. But no matter the circumstances, I shall protect you. Please refrain from referring to me as such. Just please, never do that again. Your Highness, to some small extent, I admit. That was merely because... Your Highness, if you would please ensure Raymond is not privy to this. I say, Bunny, together you can roam the earth. Imagine, sleeping as you bury your face in so much fluffiness. Doing so is a magnificent dream. No, it must be a bunny, Your Highness. But bunnies have a lovely voice, too. Your Highness! For a moment, I thought your choice had merit, but I believe they will be ill-matched. If a kitty rides atop a bunny, I doubt it will behave. I understand. I shall not behave recklessly. Of course, I shall take care. Your Highness, I cannot accept that. I will not burden you as such. That is my duty. No, it must be me. Theo and I were observing this. How it brings me back. It is hard and humbling to believe that we were all once so small. It was, Your Highness. One day, you became frustrated by your lack of progress and declared it most unfair that Theo and I had been growing faster. You were but a child. It is most understandable. Well, Her Highness's strong spirit certainly endures. In a good way. Marielle was inquiring as to whether I enjoy any pastimes.
Is that not simply a form of exercise? One that might result in such skills?
Yes, Marielle, it is fine, as long as you enjoy yourself. It is no mere fancy, my lord. She does this for the sake of the people. Highness, are you unwell? It must be. Right? Highness, forgive me. The woods are perilous at this hour. Please, I beg you. My word, what is it? No, you mustn't. Stay back where it is safe. But it cannot be. But how? Could it be the Empire? The Fiend of the Weald. It has found him. Highness, we know not his... You've a death wish? To arms! Leave this to me. Flank it. I have you covered. The other side, Highness. That was too close. A victory well earned. Are you unharmed? Silence. Who are you? Let you go. After witnessing you exiting a foreign ship? You're more fool than you look. Huh? I knew you weren't alone. Show yourself. Step into the light. Princess, how dare you? Vile dissembler. Madness. Not a town, no. Only the Medum ruins. Highness. Halt! Oh, for the love of... As you wish. Highness, we cannot trust this man. Intrigues you? Curses. He knows... What is it? Highness, are you all right? I thought it was yours. Highness? Well, this is a fine mess we've found ourselves in. We should be able to reach it by evening if we leave immediately. And to unconditionally trust these two is folly. They could very well be exploiting our ignorance for their own personal gain, and we'd be none the wiser. It's nothing. Hello? Albaird Bergholm, sir. Far away... in the sky? I've never heard something so asinine. Oddly lackadaisical way of describing being lost in an unknown land. The person we seek is hardly congenial, but he is inquisitive. Your presence will be more persuasive than any argument we can make. The mining town of Delric, which lies far to the south. Once we reach it, we can take stock of our situation. Then you'll have yourself to blame if you are attacked. Well, Delric is the largest and most productive mining town in the kingdom. Don't expect us to go looking for you if you get lost. It's quite all right. You're not hurt, are you? That was strange. Perhaps I was. Were you and Her Highness not such a handful, though, I wouldn't have to make any face. Enquire of the townsfolk. I can think of no other way. Here we are. Marquis's infirmary. As I have said, I am fine. Of course. For my own understanding, do you often see these monsters around here? You mean the three people who have no clue how to navigate these tunnels? So be it. However, these mines will be teeming with fiends. By failing to prepare, we prepare for death. I don't understand. This nest has had time to develop and no monsters have attacked? How is that possible? And we can appreciate that the doctor's wounds were not serious. I am Albaird Bergholm. It's been quite some time, Marquess. Whatever it is, I have a bad feeling about it. You and I were but children. How could we remember? Your Highness, to get medicine? Shouldn't be. To my knowledge, it's always bustling. Maybe this warrants an investigation? That many? The main institution where semiomantic research is conducted. It has the best facilities in the kingdom. I understand your concern, but that's not why we're here. We're here to convince the doctor to disclose Maester Felgreid's whereabouts. I personally have no issue with escorting you to the consortium. However, were that to irreparably sour your relationship with Dr. Eason, it would defeat the whole purpose of this endeavor. Do you? Fair enough. It's not as if we gain anything by staying in Rifle. Pardon the indiscretion, but no need to worry. I can stand by my... Thank you all for looking after me, and sorry to have been such a burden, especially to you, Nina. I am. You shan't see me on my knees again. Of course. Perish the thought. Maester, do not be angry at Nina. She has only brought me here to see you as a patient. Dr. Vanel examined me in Rifle. However, he suggested that I get a second opinion from you. These are for you. The referral and my medical records. Indeed, time is of the essence, and Maester Felgreid is integral to our mission. We cannot afford to waste a moment. To the north of the Larkus region, at the summit of a perilously steep mountain. One wrong step could indeed spell your doom. Nothing to stop you from plummeting to the bottom, so keep your wits about you. I say we make camp here for the night. The climb too much for you? I had plenty of time to convalesce. I can survive a leisurely hike through nature. I must say, I'm surprised you haven't asked about it. Just what do you think I am? What did you... I think we can all agree we'd like to reach Ada by sundown, so the sooner we depart, the better. Out of its way! Here comes! How dare you think us imperial dogs? Huh? I care not how gifted and talented that man is. He has no right to disparage one of royal blood. Maester, you do not mean that. Maester, keep this to yourself. For about a month's time, I've not been feeling quite myself. It was around then that I noticed a peculiar darkening of the skin at my shoulder. What? And there's nothing to be done? Then, Maester, I've a favor I must ask of you. I have failed. My pleas for appeals fell on deaf ears. Right, of course. He tells me I will lose all use of it within the year. He may once have been able to, yes, but that was 14 years ago. Highness! Maester! No, Highness. Over my dead body. I'm aware. So why then think to go off alone? I'm sorry. She has landed in treacherous terrain. She is beyond our help, if she survived at all. And you're sure it's okay to leave her here alone? Friends of yours? Well, that certainly answers my question. Your company would be a boon indeed. If my suspicions are correct and those men are with the Empire, then we will need all the help we can get. We know only what he tells us, that he comes from beyond the stars or some such. I admit, we were hard-pressed to believe it as well, but after all we have borne witness to, best to expand our search to Delric then. Let's be off. In a town so large as this, perhaps it would be prudent to narrow our search, which would mean that the people of Rythel had a clear view. We should check in. Then mayhaps the townspeople will have something for us. I find that quite a hard story to swallow. Care to describe him? No, it is quite all right. Perhaps we should return to the infirmary. Only that there is indeed a great deal of talk. At this juncture, I believe it is safe to say that the whole western half of the kingdom is aware of the comet. Delric, and you, sir, are you a wayfarer? What? Attempt to flee, and you will find out just how fast and painful my chakram are. Hold there! Blast it! Of all the times! What? I would hardly call our foe a giant, but he most certainly had the skin and horn you describe. You will. We have heard from reliable sources that Rythel's ports are meant to reopen in due course, and the quickest way to the easterly lands is by ship through the channel. I doubt a mere fleet of ships brought this many birds here. It certainly has. There seem to be even fewer people than when we were last here. But why? All right, then. In the meantime, we should sit tight until we hear word from Nina and Elena. Can such flimsy cloth truly prevent us from contracting the illness? I don't understand. How does the act of covering one's mouth and nose prevent the spread of disease? Aren't you overlooking something? Rythel is a veritable aviary at this point. With this many birds here, isn't it already too late to save the town? No, we have. It's identical to what we saw in the mines. Yes, in the Delric mines. Why is that? If Cotto's along the ferry route as well, their citizens might also have fallen ill. A trail? There? Huh? Noted. But if Ossarians could scale this mountain a century ago, I see no reason why we can't. Cotto's city guard, I presume. Would you kindly fall back, Your Highness? We mean no harm. We are but travelers wishing to return to the capital. What do you think you're doing? Have we no recourse but to reveal that we're with the crown? Theo! Water under the bridge. I must also apologize for my colleague's uncouth behavior. In truth, we would not have made it nearly this far without their assistance. And can we leave that nickname in the past where it belongs? So the commons have seen this woman, then? Of course. How? This nest bears an uncanny resemblance to those we happened upon within the Delric mines. The similarities seem more than coincidence. Ill ends indeed. Nina! Maester Felgreed! Find cover now! How in blazes could that monstrosity remain concealed from us? Oh, I'm sure Theo will love to hear that. Yes, where has she gone? It seems your suspicions are correct. Delric, Rythel, and Cotto. All of them with the words, put to testing. These are orders. Delric is marked with a bug, Rythel a bird, and Cotto simples. This confirms, without a shadow of a doubt, what I feared all along. Someone means our kingdom harm. Yes, those horned knaves plot against us, at the Empire's directive. We witnessed plain as day the sort of tests they mean to deploy. To be frank, a laboratory of that scale is not something one woman can conceal. What's more, her friends have been spotted in all corners of the kingdom. Not the look I'd expect from one who's about to reunite with a comrade. Your Highness, please forgive my delay. No, I just... Highness? Let us make our way to the castle. Her Highness had a very good reason. Where do you think you are off to? They are nothing of the sort, I assure you. When Her Highness speaks thusly, there is no changing her mind. Let us make haste to Baldar. We have not the time to dawdle here any longer. I will do what I can. I will uphold my duty wholeheartedly. I am Albaird Bergholm, Knight of the King's Guard and bodyguard to Her Highness Leticia Osarius. We seek audience with Captain Bertrand, head of the Baldar forces. This is the permit entrusted us by Chancellor Neon Kazal, advisor to the Corps. Much obliged. Let us make for the Basilica at once, Your Highness. It is unnerving to hear such sincerity coming from you. Of course, Your Highness. Please try not to wander off too far. Please heed what Her Highness has to say. The soldiers of Baldar are on high alert, so refrain from aught that might raise suspicion. I am sure the Citadel is safe, but please refrain from wandering too far. Chloe's examination seems to be finished. Shall you retire? I believe Chloe's examination has concluded. Shall you retire? Your Highness, we are under attack from the Empire. Your Highness! I believe Baldar's defenses should be well prepared. Your Highness, what is the situation on the battlefield? Your Majesty, the Imperial forces are much more powerful than we had anticipated. Please understand, their strength is likely bolstered by interlopers from the sky as well. We stand no chance. Understood, sir. May fortune smile upon you, Captain Bertrand. Let us be off. They made it this far? Bertrand Corps, shield His Majesty! His Majesty's steed! We have not the time to contemplate. It comes. Did you say... from the north? General Canis, Captain Bertrand is heading the rear guard at Baldar. Please... you must help them. Heartening news. Do you doubt Her Highness's words, General Canis? You forget yourself. I am rather astounded to hear Maestro Midas worried after us. Theo? We will most likely get answers once we meet the Trathen. No, I simply... you have the right of it, Nina. My nerves are on end. I am alive and well thanks to you, Lady Malkia. You see right through me. Though their number be few, this battle is to repel invading Imperial forces. We must succeed. Understood. He was an Imperial officer. I appreciate your words. However, I seem to grow weary. No, I am fine. Are you certain? I can hardly believe it. Thank you. Thank you. I can continue my knightly duties. I can still fight. You speak true. Now I can repay Her Highness for all the worry I've caused her. I do not doubt there is much running through her mind. If Her Highness should speak to you, I beg you, heed her words. Her Highness holds trust in you. Despite this trust, there were matters she could not share. Perhaps now, such conversation is possible. Yes, my lady. Your Highness, your words are too kind. Highness, do you know of Raymond's whereabouts? If your Highness permits, mayhaps now is the time to disclose all to him. We are going to require his help, and the morrow's affairs ever keep piling up. Yes, my lady. Highness, indeed. Behold, your Highness. Naturally. Let us not keep Theo waiting. Thank you. I feel strong enough to move mountains. What is it? The wounds he sustained in Baldar have worsened, leaving him bedridden. Sinister activity has also been observed around Baldar. Neon wishes for the immediate return of Her Highness. Theo has already left Kato for the royal city. The ship that approaches is one sent by Neon. Of course, I leave the rest here to you. Should any trouble arise, I shall inform Elena with all haste. Thank you, my lady. I shall strive to earn the honor of such words. If I may, if you speak with sincerity, Why insist on calling me boy? What madness? What could the Duke be thinking? Remember, Your Highness, we cannot contact him without Elena. Chancellor Neon, why did you come to Kato? Have the Imperial forces at Baldar caught wind of the situation? You dare turn your blades on Her Highness! You betray your right to be knights! I shall do my utmost, Your Highness, but forgive me should my hand be forced. Chancellor! It is nothing. Let us hurry. What in the heavens? It was Theo. He betrayed us. And Neon, he was the one who coaxed the Duke into staging a coup d'etat. Neon is an agent of the Empire. If naught is done, Her Highness and His Majesty will be executed. Yes, my lady. Why Kato? Lord Neon, please lead the way. I shall see to His Majesty. My shoulder is yours, Your Majesty. Maester Midas and Lady Malkia have bestowed upon me a new one. Lord Neon, what is the meaning of this? Theo, how could you? Highness, be at ease, Highness. His Majesty is in this cell. He is not yet awake, but he is alive. I share in your disbelief. To think Theo would be involved. He may be in another dungeon. Or perhaps the captain has also betrayed... What? That woman was the Imperial spy hiding out in Mount Corinth. You were colluding with the Empire from the start? Neon! You fiend! Theo, have you nothing to say? What is wrong with you? You would truly condemn Her Highness, Letty, to death? What? No, you cannot mean... Damn it. Damn it all! There must be something we can do. Can anyone hear me? You will pay dearly for this, Theo. Albaird, how could you turn your backs on everything the Royal Knights stand for? Your Highness, do not go! Come back! Your Highness! Damn it. Is there truly naught I can do? After all the pain and sacrifice to renew this arm, still I am useless. What is this? I cannot hope to fathom as to why. Agreed. I am certain a grand stage will be set for the execution, to signify the change in authority. I should much like to be in attendance. Perhaps they are privy to the whereabouts of Her Highness. Not alone! If we know of our enemy, there is no fight we cannot win. You fool! If Letty heard of a coup in the kingdom, do you truly believe she would have just cowered in safety? Damn it, Theo. If you're the same man I've looked up to all these years, you know what must be done! This one is an old maintenance tunnel. From days long past, does not exit outside the castle. It was never meant to. Yes, Her Highness was the one who discovered it. Well said. I should like to think Theo, too, was reminiscing on those days, through sheer mention of the tunnel, above the spire in the castle square. Very well. Even had I the range to reach, it would not save all three of them. We have no choice but to charge in. Letty! Theo! Captain Bertrand! Theo! I am well aware. Loyal knights of Osarius! Follow after Her Highness, Leticia Osarius! The orchestrators of the coup shall not be permitted to flee! Neon, lay down your arms! That fool! Impossible, then. If Baldar moves to attack, we would not last 3 days. Apparently, that is what those beings with the horns and sickly pallor call themselves. I feel somewhat fatigued. Please excuse me. Can we make up for those soldiers lost by calling back our forces in Kato? You speak true. I apologize for the foolish suggestion. I shall feel no calm unless I keep active. This wedding is for their own crown prince as well. Surely that is not ample time to prepare. The fact it is of highest secrecy changes not. Let us hasten to the consortium. If the forces of Baldar truly intend to advance upon Kato or Nilbeth, we must discern the movement of the Imperial forces stationed there. I may have a notion. In the meanwhile, let us make for Baldar. We shall ascertain what their naval forces are up to. We shall encroach from on high, east of Baldar. A bird's eye view should tell us all. There appears to be no major activity. No warships are patrolling offshore, and the soldiers are not hurriedly preparing for battle. That Lady Malkia's ship ran afoul of an Imperial patrol, I do not doubt. But the Empire must not deem it strategically important to deploy its ships to Nilbeth. We must hold our trust in Lady Malkia and the Royal Navy. Let us return. We need to report our findings to Captain Bertrand. Be that as it may, we should advise all civilian ships in Kato and Rifle to refrain from setting sail. We are out of time. His Majesty and the Corps have already left for Baldar. The ceremony is less than half a day away. Even were the Fulga completed, no time would be left to coordinate with our ground forces. The Fulga could never have been finished in the time allotted. However, this fact does not change our mission. We shall see the wedding disrupted, Her Highness safely rescued, and Baldar wrested back from the Empire's grasp. Let us build up the number of Fulga for the final confrontation with the Empire. Our top priority for this operation is the safe return of Her Highness. Theo, Raymond, and I shall enter first and conceal ourselves near the Basilica. Once her escort allows us an opportune moment, we will surround Her Highness and work with the attending Bertrand Corps to extract her from the ceremony hall. Our aim is the hill to the east of Baldar. We can enter the citadel from there. We leave at once, you two. Theo, you should know, I place my trust in your words. No, I believe you, but I shall strike you down just as swift should my faith be misplaced. That, I swear on my life. Is aught amiss? Right. Hey, Raymond, you are shouldering a fair amount of pressure. Do not think you are alone. Rely upon us should the need come. He is not of our concern. Where is Her Highness? Raymond, no word as of yet? We have lost him. Their numbers are too vast. What? I think it a sound plan. Not all. The war will end. True. But there will be much more to do after. One would hope. Raymond, I assume you and your friends will be returning to your home planet after this is over? Do not be absurd, Theo. Raymond and his friends have their own concerns. Our sole priority should be ensuring they are able to return to their homes without anything to weigh on their minds. We can at least retain that final shred of dignity after all they have done to aid us. Forgive us, Raymond, but we need your abilities for just one more day. Is something the matter, Your Highness? Oh, I was merely performing my duty as a knight. For what, may I ask? Oh, Your Highness, the oaths I swore to this kingdom, the royal family, and you, Your Highness, are made precisely for such moments. If my lady goes astray, I caution her. If she goes into battle, I take up my sword with her. And if she falls to her knees, I am there to help her up. I will say it again. I was merely performing my duty as a knight. Thus, I shall accept your words and clarifications of what passed before with pride, and pledge once more to serve you as your loyal knight. Still, I would ask that you behave more sensibly once matters with the Empire are settled. Well, it was worth a try. Saying such things is also part of my duty as a knight. Aeon, Emperor Boldor of the Vale Empire, your days as ruler are at an end. Your son will not be wed to our princess. Neon, stop this! Your Highness, I will make you pay for what you did to Neon. We once endured great hardship together. If not for all of you, he would still be alive. Wait! You think you can escape? What in? You have made the princess cry, Highness. It is as you say. Silence will not help you. Tell us, just what could Boldor and Valange be plotting from such a location? Attack! Foes from the stars above. I suppose it would be safe to assume there will be similar obstacles ahead. Is it moving? What? Let us be off. There is no telling what they will do if we leave them unchecked. That's Valange and Gaston. You mean to say that you attacked Osirius and Nilbeth to subjugate the world and force the population of the entire planet into integration with Scorpium? So, This is the might that comes from integrating with Scorpium. I dare say you might find him more accepting of the idea than you think. It is fieldwork, in a sense. Quite exciting. While I am certain it will be a difficult journey, I should like to at least try face such a new experience with a sense of optimism. Theo, what is it? Your Majesty, I shall accompany the princess and guard her with my life. My lord, princess, if I may speak with you about Theo, apparently he is in the dungeons. Duke Albaird was returned to the cells after the battle with Baldar and the imperial capital. Theo may harbor some lingering feelings. If the request is worded strongly enough, then perhaps, if you have any other unfinished business, it would be wise to take care of that as well. To think all of our struggles have taken place in such a minuscule space makes one feel insignificant. Antonio is much more of a gentleman than you. How should I put it? So what you are implying is that it will be a difficult battle. Can you tell me, Ray, why is this Manuke fleet so inferior? And these? I see. Wait, pray, what exactly does all that mean? Why am I upside down? We can worry about that later. Do you truly believe the people of the Empire would wish to become this? My salvation will be at mine own hand, not your self-righteousness. What is this gravity you speak of? You consider this to be normal. Each and every single building here is as large as a keep. Marielle, they know what they are doing is wrong, yet they have chosen to blindly follow orders all the same. They have long since passed the point of reason. If we are to right their misdeeds, we must fight. It would seem our defense of this district was successful, even if it means facing your former comrades and superiors, Marielle. Precisely. What is this? But why go so far? You need not have asked. What manner of place is this? What is that? One would think the idea of proceeding step by step could apply to a great many things. But would the Federation not be... no, perhaps not. Is something wrong, Nina? How low you have fallen, Boldor. Your son Gerard would be saddened to see it. As a knight, I have but one succor to offer you. I shall release you from this madness. That is how you would speak of one who pledged loyalty and would die for you? Is he truly dead this time? Contemplating of our return. The Centralists are no more, and Boldor may have fallen, but that leaves not all well. We know not how Boldor's absence will be taken. Once it becomes known he will not return, there is much yet to consider. Changed I have made many friends and braved many obstacles, and seen countless worlds, far, far beyond my own. I could ask for no more. Your Highness, perhaps a stroll would put one's mind at ease. It may well be our last chance to share words with our companions. The sheer size of it! You've planned this from the start? This will be a far cry from our battle with Remington. How are we to wage war against an enemy immune to death itself? Elaborate. Yes, it is as you say. My symptoms now prove evanescent. I suggest closing your eyes the moment it begins. Will your want of Osarius never cease? We are in enemy territory. Who among us would dare leave themselves defenseless in such conditions? And should he be defeated within this space, all shall be at an end, yet fear you will not find in us, nor a thought spared for the desecration you speak of. Each of us must find within ourselves the strength to defend that which we cherish. Are we to be subjected to surveillance by an ambassador? I say this with respect to the positions of both Elena and Marielle. But, from my own view, I fail to find fault in Raymond's suggestion. Spare me. I simply speak for us all. I informed you we were training. I have deemed as much to be necessary. And we will continue as such until you present yourself as, at bare minimum, the greatest fighter in the kingdom. I heard you came bearing gifts for Maester Midas on your prior visit. Her Highness and Nina found out. The two caused quite the scene before him, lamenting how unfair it was to them. They are in uproar. They call to see you again, to travel once more through the stars. Our princess is a person of import our nation cannot replace, and Nina the same. If you are to take them with you into the stars, prove yourself here and now. Convince me I can entrust them into your hands. My chakram are much more swift than your cowardly feet. Halt, Ray! Do not presume to think you can run!
Highness?
An honor, Your Highness. Yes, I beg your pardon, Your Highness. I doubt not your words, but I do find myself somewhat perplexed. Why are the two of us finding ourselves here in Larkus once again? We were to go on a short walk from the royal city, yes? The two are hardly comparable. What? That is by my obligation as a knight to the royal family. Well, Highness. Highness? Eddie. These are no ordinary times. If you wish to redeem yourself of your involvement in the coup, how better than by obedience to your princess? I find myself in agreement with his fears. I suggest you reconsider such aspirations. I do not believe forgiveness alone will suffice. His guilt will not relent until he hears from the very people he believes himself to have betrayed, not only His Royal Majesty and Captain Bertrand, but the knights who refused to side with the Duke during the coup as well. My word. Had there always been a passageway here? Indeed I do. Piloted by a scum back then, if memory serves. Does it have a tongue? You might consider a simpler name if yours troubles you such. And so the vermin arrive, slow as their journey has been. Too long have I awaited the moment that I would bring you before me. You are nothing but living failures. What hope have you of besting the likes of me? Enough talk. Come then. Your one-way ticket to hell will be paid for with your very life. Raymond? Pardon me any misdeeds. All I recall is a fierce desire to dominate the universe. If you intend to make your way upwards, allow me to assist. It was hardly any... although I feel shame in doing such, I leave the rest to you. Your Highness, pardon me the troubles I have caused. To think I dare raise my hand, to you no less. Your Highness, do you intend to ascend further still? Allow me to aid you, Your Highness. I am at your command. It was hardly any. Please forgive me, Your Highness. The rest, I leave to your hands. I leave the retrieval of the ore in your hands. I worry about the condition of His Majesty. Let us make haste back to the ship. Does my countenance so easily reveal my condition? Does my countenance so readily reveal all? The village seems yet monster-free. Perhaps it is the abandoned mine we ought concern ourselves with. If the monster has not moved to roam the village, perhaps we ought concern ourselves with the abandoned mine instead. In all my time, I have never set eyes on a monster lair so foul. The mere thought now sickens me. Are you quite well? That foul place leaves even me perturbed. We cannot be sure the creatures from the abandoned mine have not made their home in this area until we search it ourselves. It shames me to admit I was naive in thinking that Maester Marcus would welcome our arrival. Honestly, I feel no need to involve Maester Marcus, but likewise, I do not wish to cause Her Highness further concern. I promise, Your Highness, I will pay visit to Maester Marcus. Helgar's disease claims fewer lives now than it once did, yet it evades eradication and continues to plague this land. It seems almost a cruel joke that this ailing arm of mine would aid in leading us to Maester Felgreed. Must a new arm truly cost me my future as a knight? Is such a price worth paying? I may not have long as your knight, Highness, but I ask you at least allow me to serve while I can. Will the very same befall mine own arm? No, never mind me. Our focus must be on rescuing this woman. We must head for the Larkus Weald if we are to see the woman saved. We should make our way north. I would advise we speak to the people of Larset village and see who among them witnessed Elena's fall from the skies. I can say with certainty that the group we spotted investigating Elena's pod is anything but an ordinary crew of bandits. Many appear to have witnessed this shooting star. Perchance we ought have our soldiers seal off the area around the crash site. Forgive me for allowing that strange purple man to slip from our grasp. Perhaps I am no longer fit to serve. I must hold on just a whit longer, until we see Maester Midas returned to the royal palace. All that is left now is to make our way from Rythel to the royal city. By what coincidence did we find the same nesting grounds in Rythel as we had in the abandoned mines of Delric? The two regions share little in the way of geography or climate. To find exactly the same sorts of nests in two places as distinct as Rythel and the mines of Delric suggests to me that something is amiss. I understand your worry for your companion, but do not let that detract from our search for the one who was on Mount Coderinth. Are we entirely certain whoever was spotted on Mount Coderinth bears some connection to the spread of the rot? If the purple-skinned folk are with the Empire, then we had best assume those we found sifting through that pod of yours to be as well. If the purple-skinned folk do indeed serve the Empire, we had best assume those we caught sifting through that pod of Raymond's to be as well. Lord Neon's position may not make him the most loyal ally to Her Highness, but he is an honest and just man. Your friend is safe with him. Surely Theo can manage things with Lord Neon. Captain Bertrand is one of the finest swordsmen in all the kingdom. I oft trained with him as a boy. Should the situation settle at Baldar, I would be of mind to ask Captain Bertrand for a bout. Like old times, the conflict at Baldar has stirred the populace. I pray their unease does not fester into something more serious. News of the situation at Baldar has shaken the public, leaving them anxious. I pray their unease will not fester into something more serious. Theo, how could you allow this on your watch? How much influence do these Virians hold over the Empire to have driven the Duke to such extreme acts? Your Highness, do remember to think of yourself as well. Her Highness risks her very life in order to grant us time. We must not squander her efforts. I had assumed Her Highness would be held in protective custody while on Imperial grounds, but I appear to have been mistaken. Raymond's behavior towards Marielle left me surprised as well. Never had I imagined the man to show such ire. The royal army is deployed to southern Baldar already. We had best move to join them. Our army is deployed to southern Baldar as we speak. We had best move to join them. The female Virian they call Lola, the one left behind, is now held prisoner in Baldar. Perhaps our enemies are not the monolith we imagined them to be. The Virians turned out to be less of a cohesive team than we first imagined. The one they left behind, called Lola, is being held in the prison at Baldar now. Let us make way to the dungeons of Baldar. There is much yet to inquire regarding Boldor and those Virians. We shall have no lasting peace until Boldor and the Virians are captured and accounted for. Let us continue the pursuit. You remain alive and well, then. It may be unbecoming of my post to admit as much, but I must say, I find great relief in the return of Raymond and his companions. We will require His Majesty's approval, of course, but there is much else we must attend to for the long journey which awaits us. You must be exhausted. Might I suggest you get some rest? As her knight, it is my duty to follow and defend Her Highness, no matter where her adventures may lead. Stay true to yourself, Your Highness. Whatever path you choose, I shall see to it our way forward is clear. Was it not virtuous intent which saw JJ and his companions caught up in that battle? Was it not virtuous intent which saw JJ and his companions caught up in that battle? What these centralists have done is unthinkable. To bring harm upon the innocent without so much as a declaration of war is an injustice I will not stand for. What these centralists have done is unthinkable. To bring harm upon the innocent without so much as a declaration of war is an injustice I will not stand for. In all honesty, I yet fail to comprehend the Scorpium's true nature. All the more reason I will not embrace such evolution. In all honesty, I yet fail to comprehend the Scorpium's true nature. All the more reason I will not embrace such evolution. I am not quite sure what it means to be Data, or if I am meant to feel any different at all, but if this allows us the means to defeat Boldor, I require no further explanation. I am not quite sure what it means to be Data, or if I am meant to feel any different at all. Is the process over already? Which way could Her Highness have gone? Should Your Highness locate that man, please advise him to retire at a reasonable time. Sleep deprivation would only serve to further addle his mind. You must be exhausted. Rather than wander about aimlessly, why not convalesce at the inn? I implore you to rest at the nearest establishment, Your Highness. Allow Raymond to handle the preparations. Our next destination is to the south, a mining town by the name of Delric. Do try to keep up. Our next destination is the mining town to the south, Delric. Let us be off then. Spare me your gawking. I shall not allow myself to be seen in such a pitiful state again. I am sorry to have worried you. After sufficient rest, there should be no cause for concern. A horned monster, with skin pale as moonlight. Likely naught but the ramblings of a drunkard. However, Cotto is a port city in eastern Ascendros, where the Royal Navy is stationed. Cotto. When I first departed there via ship, I had not even the faintest notion of what would transpire. Worry not about my arm. Your companion is in danger, is she not? Make haste. I am fine. Come. That man's companion is in need of rescue. Larkus Weald, where the pod is located, lies beyond the Adali Tines. There is no time to waste. Larkus Weald, where the pod is located, lies beyond the Adali Tines. There is no time to waste. To think a remote mountain village such as this could be in need of protection. Has the kingdom's security truly fallen into such disarray? To think a remote mountain village such as this could be in need of protection. Has the kingdom's security truly fallen into such disarray? What? Wipe that idiotic grin off your face. Damn that Theo! Of all the people to directly address me by my childhood nickname. Though straight-laced and pig-headed at times, Lord Neon is no villain. I am certain everything is fine, however, we should make for the capital sooner rather than later. If Lord Neon is involved, then the safety of their comrade becomes somewhat of a concern. We should make haste. Diplomatic relations were severed with Nilbeth 14 years ago. I never expected to travel there myself. Diplomatic relations were severed with Nilbeth 14 years ago. I never expected to travel there myself. What is the meaning of this? His Majesty may be in danger. We must hurry. Baldar Citadel is out beyond the southern gate. That is where we shall find Chloe. We should make for Baldar Citadel. It lies not far south of the royal city. The current situation notwithstanding, the future at last seems bright. I only hope the princess might see as much. Never in all my dreams had I imagined I would hear Maester Midas being so aggressively cooperative. I am ever grateful for your aid to the princess. Alone, I would have stood helpless against the situation. Your Highness, surely someone else could buy us time with the Empire. I must remain as strong of heart as our princess. There is little we find ourselves capable of now. The least we might do is stand ready to move at a moment's notice. I admit much of that talk was beyond me, but surely she had her own reasons and circumstances. Maester Midas is likely still with His Majesty in his chambers. We had best head that way. Now go, get your rest, for we need you at your full potential by the morn. My arm ails me no more, and I swear myself to your service once more. Your Highness, my arm ails me no longer. None shall stop me now. My arm ails me no longer. None shall stop me now. Our towns are safe now in the hands of Theo and his men. He will not be easily overcome. That I can assure you. Bertrand and his men stand watch over everything here at home. Let us get underway to Nilbeth. This may well be the last fight we face together. But know that I shall guard you. By my life, I swear no harm shall befall you, Your Highness. I think it best you give her your trust, Your Highness. Allow me to be the one to keep a doubtful eye ever upon her. Your family must be one of the great houses of this sea of stars. Still, it beggars belief that you of all people could come from such a distinguished lineage. Raymond seems like an entirely different person out here among the stars. One could almost think him reliable. No, perish the thought. The floor does not shudder, and the scene outside does not change. Are you certain this vessel is in motion? The floor does not shudder, and the scene outside does not change. Are you certain this vessel is in motion? I was all but certain we would be of no further use here, but if we are to board their ship, please allow me to be of assistance. Even here, amongst the stars, it is one's carefully honed martial skills that provide the final line of defense. So if the wedding had gone forward as planned, the princess too might have been transformed into one of these Scorpium. So we stand at the very home of the Scorpium, do we? Let us be off then. Hesitation will resolve nothing. So we stand at the very home of the Scorpium, do we? Let us be off then. Hesitation will resolve nothing. I am pleased to see the Peripeum as its own guardsman. It is thanks to them that the colony suffered as little as it did. I am pleased to see the Peripeum as its own guardsman. It is thanks to them that the colony suffered as little as it did. This is your home, is it not? You may count on our assistance as well. Raymond and his comrades came to the aid of our home, so it is only right that we do the same for theirs. Your father cuts quite the... how should I put it? Indomitable figure. Raymond's father cuts quite the... how should I put it? Indomitable figure. I must say my farewells to Sir Antonio and Lady Chloe. I am afraid our time here grows short. Make sure to spend the remaining moments with everyone in a manner that leaves nothing to regret. The defenses of this city will undoubtedly hold for now, but not indefinitely should this conflict persist. Severing this at the source is our only option. The defenses of this city will undoubtedly hold for now, but that may very well change should this conflict persist. We must seek out Bulldor. Only Bulldor himself remains. Let us put an end to this with our own hands. Let us venture forth, Princess. I will be at your side every step of the way. Raymond, is this your home? I dare say it rivals a castle in size. Just how influential is your family? Your Highness, is this Raymond's home? This may as well be a castle. Do you not think? It would appear the refugees under JJ's protection were all able to enter Peripeum safely. It would appear the refugees under JJ's protection were all able to enter Peripeum safely. I gather that the guardsmen of this city also cooperate in maintaining the public order. I am unfamiliar with this cybermind integration, but I do know forcing it upon others is wrong. What happened with Maester Marcus? Explain! Princess, I am uncertain of what to say. Ada lies deep in the northeastern mountains. I suggest we provision here before we depart. The moment is almost upon us, Your Highness. I wonder how Maester Midas will receive us. Are you ready? Here I come. Over here. This way. Farewell. Out of my way! Ha! 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 Ha!